Obviously, Sergey Kovalev got dropped 3 times, and Alvarez scored the TKO victory. Did you get a chance to see that fight?
I didn't see the fight, but I saw the last round and I saw some highlights.
What did you think?
So I thought, well, it goes back again to what I said about it's this thing about coaching. You know, um, I think John David was the scapegoat on his last two losses, and bringing in a guy uh, who was just an amateur coach from Russia doesn't cut it. There's so many things that go on in the pros. I mean, certainly that first knockdown, he was stunned, but he wasn't concussed at that moment. It was the second one that finished him. Yeah. So you have to look at the experience of the coach. Did he tell him the truth in the dressing room? Look, man, this is a hungry guy that believes he can win. In the event of a knockdown, you already lost a round. Knowing that Sergey's gonna try to live up to that moniker, the Crusher moniker, and go back in there and show his go back machismo by going back in there and fighting instead of using his brains and thinking. You already lost a round. Protect yourself, move around the ring, get back to the corner, clear your head, get back to the corner, tie him up. There's no humiliation in there. You're trying to survive. But did they tell him that in the dressing room? See, or tell him that during camp to prepare him for that moment. Because obviously, Alvarez was a hungry fighter, big, strong fighter that, hey, he can hit you and he can hurt you. Mm-hmm. So on that first knockdown where he stumbled back, I believe he was stunned, but he wasn't hurt enough to where he couldn't use his senses and survive the round, get his hands up, move around the ring, tie him up, clear his head, and get back to the corner. Mm. Instead, he put his head right back in the mouth of the cannon, and he paid for that. As far as his conditioning, I think you remember back when I offered my help, and this wasn't me going against the code of trainers. He was open. Mm-hmm. So I offered my help. I see his condition. 5-year-old, you have to train different. You have to train different. You have to train year-round, number one, not obsessively, but consistently. And you have to have a lot of off days in camp off of high-intensity work. Not casual work, but high-intensity work. The fight is only 36 minutes at 12 rounds. So if you're in the gym 2 hours at 35 years old, you're in the gym too long. Mm. But if you're training with high intensity for the rounds that you train in, you'll get the conditioning. And you do need more rest, and you do need strength and conditioning, and you need to shorten your work. Once you go the first month, 5 days a week, whatever, once he starts getting in shape and things like that, I would cut it to 4 days a week. And I do have experience in that. Berto trained basically 4 days a week, and I thought he finished pretty strong. Dre trained anywhere for about a 4 day a week, and I thought he had enough in the tank to finish strong in both fights. So, and then his flaws is because he was so dynamic offensively, no one dared to challenge him, open him up, and look for the openings. But the flaws have always been there, where he punches and brings his hands back down low. He'll keep his head right in the line of fire because he's always punching and learning how to pace himself. He's got a great jab. He can literally pace himself behind that jab. And but you can see the inexperience that happened when he got knocked down. That was a knockdown that he could have survived that round. But he went right back in there and got hit with that right hand hook right hand combo, I think, and that one pretty much sent him on his way.
Wow.
He went right back in there punching. But you already lost the round, so why are you going back in there punching? Nobody said you didn't have to throw punches, but you go defensively and you look for a sneak opening while you're protecting yourself and get back to the corner. Every minute, every second that goes by that you're not getting hit with follow-up shots ensures that you can recuperate and recover from the punch. But again, it's just an amateur Russian coach coaching in professional boxing, not really paying attention to all the dynamics that go along with it. That's not a knock. That's not saying all of them are like that. But in this case, you could pretty much question the decisions that were made during camp or the plans of. You have to plan on getting knocked down in a boxing match. You have to plan on getting stunned because it could happen. And you have to have your fighter prepared to think, to get back to that corner, to survive that round. If you badly hurt before he comes in, take another knee. Take a knee. So, I mean, you down, you just gave up 2 rounds doing that, the knockdown and taking a knee, but you are in the fight. And it was close enough to where that would have gave Alvarez maybe a slight lead, or he might even it up. From what I understand, Kovalev was comfortably ahead at that time.
Virg, just going into the fight, did you expect him to have a tough fight with Alvarez?
Oh, yeah, because Alvarez went to Colombia to train in the mountains. That tells you right there when a man leaves his comfort zone and goes into another area to train and go into the mountains to get conditioned. That tells you right there he's serious. Plus, he's been sitting on that opportunity for a long time, only to be denied and denied. He's made pretty good money on step-aside fees.
True.
Alvarez had, but he was deserving of an opportunity, but he was being denied. So he has to ask himself, this is one opportunity, I might not get another one. So you have to understand his mindset, and as the coach in the opposite corner, you have to his mindset that he will fight over his head. If possible, he will not take no for an answer. He's going to shake off your best punches, which he did, and he's going to be there. And as the fight progressed, and you could see him landing power shots, even though he was falling behind, the punches he was landing were counting. Those punches was counting. So he was confident at some point I'm gonna get something through, and that's what happened.
Not to diminish Alvarez's performance, because it was a heck of a performance, but how much of Kovalev's mental state do you think was kind of affected from the 2 losses that he suffered from Dre? I know a lot of people, like even Max Kellerman after the fight, mentioned the ghost of Andre Ward. So, having said that, do you think those 2 fights, the losses, do you think Kovalev was ever able to mentally get over that?
Well, you can look at it 2 ways. You can look at it as Alvarez seeing that Dre hung in there with him and persevered, and showed the perseverance, and that if you do hang in there with him, that you do create an opportunity for yourself as you hang in there. On the other hand, I don't think he got over the losses, and the reason why I'm saying that is to say that he constantly brings it up at the press conferences. So he brought it up, even Kathy Duval brought it up. They constantly bring up the fact how they feel about the fight. So that lets you know, why do you have to keep explaining yourself to the press? Why do you have to keep coming back with the same excuses about the fight? That lets me know that you haven't moved past them. So a lot of people would say that are anti-Ward would get offended that they would bring up the ghost of Andre Ward, but the fact is that they never put the ghost in the closet themselves.
Mm.
They constantly bring up uh, Vegas and constantly bring up uh, the losses
Mm-hmm.
in every press conference. So that's not Dre's fault. And some people, Max Kellerman and other people who feel like the ghost of Dre was there, they're justified in feeling that way.
Mm.
And on the other end, I'm sure Alvarez felt that, hey, Ward hung in there. He was just moving up from super middleweight. He was the smaller man in the fight. I'm a big light heavyweight, so if he could take it and persevere, I could do the same.